Imagine you're fighting for your life against, like, ancient cosmic forces that just want to completely tear your reality apart.
Okay, a pretty intense scenario.
Right. Now imagine your only weapon against them is a flexible cancellation policy on a $370 a month hotel room in Vietnam.
Yeah, it's just, well, it's the absolute definition of a jarring contrast. You're taking the most administrative, mundane task imaginable and treating it as a literal battle for multiversal survival.
Welcome to the deep dive. We are so glad you are here with us today. Because honestly, we have a stack of sources that completely shatters how we think about daily logistics.
It really does change your whole perspective.
Completely. We're looking at excerpts from Bye magazine, specifically a post titled Navigating the Metacity. And I really need to warn you up front, this isn't just any travel blog.
Oh, definitely not.
This material comes certified by Dr. Melvin Sewell of the Cosmic University of Echo Rift Studies 9X.
Which is quite the title.
It is. And our mission today is to figure out how a highly specific, ultra-budget hotel booking in Ho Chi Minh City serves as a literal bridge into this dense sci-fi philosophy known as Structured Multiversal Interactions, or SMI.
Which sounds incredibly complex, but the real-world anchor is so relatable.
Exactly. Okay, let's unpack this by ignoring the cosmos for a second and just starting with the cold, hard receipts.
Please do. I mean, we really need to establish a ground floor of our reality before we start bending it.
Right, so the author of this post is making a major, tactical pivot in their travel plans. They're intentionally canceling a stay at an isolated studio in District 9 of Ho Chi Minh City.
Okay.
And they're rebooking into a place called 102 House. The exact address is 10238 Kung Quan, which puts them right in the chaotic beating heart of District 1.
Which is an entirely different ecosystem. I mean, you are moving from the remote outskirts to the absolute core of the city.
Yeah, it's night and day. And the numbers they provide are meticulously documented. We're looking at a stay from May 1st to June 1st, 2026.
So exactly a month.
Yep, exactly. 31 nights in a king room for two adults. And the total price, 9,494,557 Vietnamese dong.
Okay, and for our listener, when you convert that, it comes out to roughly $370 for an entire month.
Which is wild.
It's an incredibly lean budget for a central city location anywhere in the world, let alone a major hub like that.
Right. It perfectly aligns with a highly pragmatic, $30 to $45 a day ultra-budget target.
Yeah, very practical.
But it's not just the cheap rate that makes this an attractive find. It's the logistical perks.
Right, the geography.
Exactly. By moving to District 1, they gain walkable access to major cultural and social hubs, Bu Vien, Phom Jalaun, and Ben Thon Market.
You're right in the thick of it.
Plus, the booking terms themselves are just a weary traveler's dream. It is cash only at property, meaning absolutely no money is tied up or held hostage in advance.
Which is huge.
Yeah, and there is free cancellation until April 29.
Which provides a massive runway for adaptability. The financial stakes are effectively zero until they actually arrive.
Honestly, if I'm looking at this from a purely practical standpoint, this is just the standard traveler's safety net.
For sure.
Anyone planning a month-long trip overseas would want a cheap, centrally located room with a flexible cancellation policy.
Right.
It means if your plans change, if the airline goes on strike, or if you just get cold feet, you aren't financially ruined.
Yeah, it's a very grounded, logical decision.
Right.
And what's fascinating here is that the editorial note in the magazine completely flips that grounded travel logic on its head.
How so?
Well, according to this text, we are not looking at a mere hotel booking. The author frames this rebooking as a lived enactment of structured multiversal interactions.
A lived enactment. Wait, so they aren't just writing an essay about a cosmic philosophy?
No.
They claim they are physically performing the philosophy by, interacting with a hotel booking platform.
That is the core argument. The text emphasizes this concept of participatory ontology.
Okay, ontology.
Yeah, and for our listener, ontology is the philosophical study of being, of existence. Basically, how do you exist in the world?
Right.
By moving from the far-flung, quiet isolation of District 9 into the hyper-immersion of District 1, the text argues it isn't just a physical relocation, it is a narrative shift.
A narrative shift.
Yeah, you're choosing to exist within the dense, chaotic flow of the city rather than observing it passively from a distance.
Okay, I follow the idea of moving from isolation to participation. That makes sense.
Okay.
But how do the booking details fit in? Why is a free cancellation policy suddenly a philosophical cornerstone?
Because the text argues that the free cancellation window actually mirrors SMI's adaptive framework.
Really?
Yeah, in this canon, making a tactical travel decision, like prioritizing a flexible cancellation policy, is a physical embodiment of what they call mythic-scientific resilience.
Mythic-scientific resilience.
Exactly. You are actively maintaining your agility in a universe, or, well, a travel market, that desperately wants to pin you down and lock in your coordinates.
Okay, I have to push back here on behalf of our listener.
Go for it.
Because isn't this just putting an incredibly complex, overly dramatic sci-fi filter over a cheap Agoda booking?
I mean, I see where you're coming from.
Like, why not just say, hey, I found a better deal closer to the action and I didn't have to put down a deposit? Why map it onto this massive cosmic scale?
It is tempting to dismiss it as just dramatic framing, sure, but the answer lies in the psychological utility of the source's logic.
Psychological utility.
Yeah, if you just say, I got a cheap room, you remain a passive consumer interacting with a corporate platform.
Right.
But if you frame that same action as aligning your logistics with narrative coherence, you completely change your internal relationship to the event. You are actively participating in shaping your reality.
Okay, but is intention really enough to change reality? Yeah. I mean, if I call my agonizing morning commute to work a hero's journey, I'm still just sitting in bumper-to-bumper traffic on the highway.
Sure.
Calling it something else doesn't make the cars move faster.
You are still in traffic, yes, but your cognitive friction changes. The philosophy of structured multiversal interactions isn't claiming you can magically dissolve the traffic. It claims that if you view the traffic as an active test of your coherence, rather than a passive victimization of your morning, you survive the commute without your mental state eroding.
Oh, wow.
It's about thriving under suppression. The traveler thrives by intentionally refusing to be locked into an isolated scenario.
So it's a mechanism for maintaining agency when you feel powerless.
Precisely, which creates a necessary thematic bridge for us. Because if the traveler is seeking narrative coherence through their hotel bookings, we really have to ask, what is the master narrative they are trying to mirror?
Oh, to find that master narrative, we have to look at the other major piece of our source material today, the Echo Rift Archive.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
We have to connect the traveler's quest for adaptability in Ho Chi Minh City directly to the fictional multiversal struggle found in the archive.
Right.
This lore centers around a character named Saikou Venga. According to Chapter 1, Saikou is a being born between two powerful dimensional forces, the slip flow and the counterflow.
Wait, before we move on, what actually are these forces mechanically? Like, are we talking about time travel?
Not exactly time travel, but momentum.
Okay.
Think of the slip flow as the organic, chaotic, forward-moving current of lived experience. It's adaptation.
Got it. And the counterflow.
The counterflow, on the other hand, is rigid artificial structure. It's the force that tries to halt progress, categorize everything, and basically freeze reality into predictable patterns.
Jeez.
Yeah, so Saikou is caught between the organic chaos of life and the rigid control of the system.
Which sounds like an incredibly exhausting place to exist.
Very. And Chapter 2 details that he is marked by an ancient SH1 resonance.
SH1 resonance, what does that do?
Mechanically speaking, this resonance is like a cosmic allergy to artificial constraints.
A cosmic allergy, I like that.
Right. It gives him the power to perceive when reality is being manipulated, but it causes him immense pain when he is trapped in rigid structures. He is constantly trying to maintain his existence against forces that want to tear his narrative apart.
Here's where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
Because the text gives us a direct parallel between Saikou's cosmic struggle and our traveler's logistical struggle.
Yes, the connection is so clear.
In Chapter 3 of the Echo Rift lore, Saikou relies on something called an analyzer HUD, essentially a digital diagnostic display overlaying his vision.
Just like a video game interface.
Exactly. And this HUD starts flashing critical warnings. It shows him that his coherence is failing, reality collapse, probability is rising, and extreme danger is approaching.
His immediate environment is becoming functionally hostile to his continued existence.
Think about the analogy here for the listener. Have you ever realized you booked the totally wrong accommodation?
Oh, we've all been there.
You are stuck in an isolated studio in District 9.
Yeah.
The Wi-Fi keeps dropping out. You are miles away from the street food and culture you actually traveled to see, and your budget is just bleeding out on taxis.
Yeah, it's miserable.
That sinking, suffocating feeling in your gut that your entire trip is unraveling. That is exactly like Saikou's HUD, warning him of an impending reality collapse. Your personal coherence as a traveler is failing.
That is a brilliant translation of the mechanics. So what does Saikou do when his reality begins to collapse?
Right. He doesn't just sit there.
Exactly. Chapter 4 describes his survival tactic. It is a sequence the lore calls the arc formations.
Okay, break that down for us.
It starts with an initial stage called resonance, which is essentially recognizing that your current reality is wrong and fundamentally out of sync.
Oh, so for our traveler, that's sitting in District 9 feeling that profound sense of isolation.
Yeah.
So naturally, their next move is mapping out an escape. They pull up a browser, they calculate the distance from District 9 to District 1, they look at the 31 nights and the $370 budget.
And the text refers to that exact mathematical and spatial planning as geometry.
Geometry. Wow.
You are measuring the dimensions of your new intended reality. Once the geometry is set, you have to execute the correction.
Which is the act of hitting the free cancellation button on the District 9 studio. You are actively pruning the bad timeline.
You are engaging the adaptive framework. But a correction isn't enough. You need intent.
Intent. So that's choosing the new place.
Right. You select the 102 house. You specifically choose cash only at property to retain your financial leverage. You are setting a firm, undeniable intention for your new participatory ontology.
And that culminates in the final step, which the lore calls the deployment of the slip flow edge.
Exactly.
For the traveler, that is clicking Confirm Booking. You slice through the collapsing reality of the old, isolated itinerary and secure your new, resilient position in the heart of the city.
The lore takes a stressful administrative task and reveals the complex 5-stage martial arts maneuver hidden inside your travel itinerary.
It's basically logistical martial arts.
It really is. And it is a necessary maneuver because Chapter 5 details the multiversal threats Saikou faces. He isn't just dealing with abstract bad vibes. He is hunted by counterflow mimics, coherence predators, and phenomena called null-flow pockets.
Okay, let's break those down, starting with the null flow pockets. That has to be District 9 in this metaphor.
Yeah.
But how does a null flow pocket actually work?
Mechanically, a null-flow pocket is an area where multiversal energy stagnates and dies. Nothing moves in or out.
Oh, man.
District 9 functions exactly like this for our traveler because it geographically isolates them from the circulatory system of the city. If you are cut off from the vibrant, chaotic exchange of District 1's markets and hubs, your narrative momentum literally drains away.
Because you're just stuck in a room.
Exactly. If you stay in a null-flow pocket, your journey stagnates until it collapses.
And for our listener navigating everyday life, a counterflow mimic isn't a sci-fi monster. It's that hidden resort fee that suddenly pops up on your screen right before checkout. And a coherence predator. That is the automated customer service bot that refuses to let you talk to a human being, trapping you in an endless loop until you just give up.
They're entities designed to drain your agency and force you into compliance.
So Saikou is fighting off these coherence predators and escaping null-flow pockets. But how does his story actually resolve? Does he just keep running from one booking to another?
He doesn't. And this brings us to the dark truth and the ultimate defiance of the lore. In Chapter 6, Saikou stops running.
Okay.
He tunes and uses a mechanism called true flow force. He summons actual chains of cosmic energy to bend the multiverse to his will. But using this force has a severe mechanical consequence. His own coherence shatters with every pulse of energy he exerts.
Wait, why does it shatter him?
Because the multiverse's baseline is rigidity. To force a change in reality, he has to absorb the friction of that change into his own being. He has to break his own structure to reshape the structure around him.
So to change reality, you have to be willing to take some damage.
Yes. And it leads directly to Chapter 7, where he is standing surrounded by failed versions of himself and corrupted data.
That's a grim image?
It is. And he realizes a profound, dark truth. He isn't just a tragic victim of the multiverse. He is the anomaly the multiverse fears.
Oh, wow.
The system isn't broken. It is functioning exactly as intended by actively trying to suppress him because his extreme adaptability is a direct threat to its rigid structure.
That is incredibly heavy. And, to fully understand why this cosmic lore is deeply attached to a hotel booking in Vietnam, we need to zoom out and look at the systemic perspective behind all of this material.
We do. We have to look at the overarching architecture provided by Dr. Melvin Sewell.
Right. Dr. Sewell is credited as the academic dean of the Cosmic University of Echo Rift Studies, NIC, the diagnostic architect, and the CEO of both TrueFlow Games and Sovereign Diagnostics.
He wears a lot of hats.
He really does. He is the mastermind connecting the mundane, real-world logistics with the dense Echo Rift lore.
And Dr. Sewell provides a very crucial, explicit disclaimer on the site. He states definitively that none of this material, not the Echo Rift films, not the magazine posts, not the sovereign diagnostics, is affiliated with any government, political party, intelligence agency, or activist group.
So it is completely apolitical.
Entirely apolitical. But if we connect this to the bigger picture, Dr. Sewell explains what these writings functionally are.
What are they?
He calls them mythic infrastructure, a cinematic indictment, and a sovereign broadcast.
Those are powerful terms.
They are. Their purpose is not political critique, but to serve as diagnostic tools for the individual. They are designed to expose three specific phenomena: actor convergence, systemic erosion, and most importantly, ritualized containment.
Let's linger on that phrase, ritualized containment,
Huh.
because that sounds exactly like the feeling of modern adulthood.
Oh, absolutely.
It's being trapped in a cycle of endless administrative tasks. It's the DMV. It's remembering 12 different passwords for platforms you barely use.
The worst.
It's non-refundable deposits and rigid check-in times. It is the administrative friction of the systems we interact with every single day, explicitly designed to limit our choices and keep us predictably in our lanes.
That is the perfect modern translation of the concept. The system contains you through rituals of bureaucracy.
Yeah.
And systemic erosion is the mechanical result of that containment. It is the slow, daily wearing down of your agency, your patience, and your will by these rigid structures.
So it's true.
Dr. Sewell is offering these sci-fi interpretations and collapse protocols as diagnostic tools so the individual can finally recognize when they are being contained and eroded by the mundane world.
So what does this all mean? Like, why should you, listening to this right now on your commute or while doing the dishes, care about matching the geography of Ho Chi Minh City with the dense sci-fi lore of the Echo Rift archive?
Because it is fundamentally about reclaiming your mental framework. When you map an epic multiversal struggle onto your mundane, daily logistical frustrations, you are granting yourself agency in a world that wants you to be passive.
You are putting yourself back in the driver's seat of your own narrative.
We live in a world of profound information overload and systemic friction. If you view every canceled flight, every bad hotel booking, every automated phone tree as just another annoying chore that happens to you, you suffer from that systemic erosion.
You just burn out.
You wear down, you become exhausted. But if you utilize this mythic infrastructure, if you view that rigid cancellation policy as a coherence predator and your ability to navigate around it using a free cancellation filter as a structured multiversal interaction, you are no longer a victim of a bad corporate system.
Right.
You are a sovereign actor actively deploying an adaptive framework.
You are Saikou Venga dodging a counterflow mimic.
Exactly.
It takes the friction of daily life and turns resilience into a game, into a mythic act. It gives you the psychological energy to keep fighting for your own narrative continuity.
It's a vital psychological tool for survival in a highly complex, often frustrating modern world. By refusing the isolation of the District 9 booking and doing the geometry to find 102 house, the traveler isn't just saving a few Vietnamese dong. They are proving that their narrative cannot be contained.
It demands that we take our own lives seriously enough to view our mundane choices as having multiversal weight.
It forces you to respect your own agency.
Well, this has been an incredible journey. We started with the literal, practical details of a $370 a month room at a 102 house in Ho Chi Minh City.
It really did.
We looked at the pragmatic benefits of free cancellation and a walkable location near Ben Thanh Market. But then, guided by Bibe Bibe magazine and Dr. Sewell's diagnostic framework, we explored how that simple act of rebooking is actually a lived enactment of participatory ontology.
We moved from the logistical reality to the mythic architecture underneath it.
Yeah, we saw how navigating the metacity, or even just navigating your own local bureaucracy, requires the exact same defiance as surviving a collapsing slip flow corridor in the Echo Rift archive.
Which is such a cool way to look at it.
It's all about maintaining your coherence when the system tries to isolate you in a no-flow pocket.
It is an incredibly potent way to conceptualize daily resilience.
It really is. And that brings us to the final, lingering idea we want to leave you with today.
I love this part.
In Chapter 8, the Echo Rift lore, the final panel of the story, Saikou Venga is standing in a collapsing reality. His coherence is shattering, and the entire weight of the multiverse is pushing against him.
The ultimate climax.
Right, and he stands defiant, looks at the void, and simply declares, if the multiverse wants me gone, it can try harder.
A statement of absolute, unbreakable sovereignty.
So, think about your own life tomorrow morning. If our daily logistical frustrations, the endless forms, the bad Wi-Fi connections, the hidden fees, the traffic are actually null-flow pockets trying to erode your coherence, what would happen if you shifted your perspective?
It changes everything.
What would happen if you treated your most mundane, annoying obstacle not as a chore to complain about, but as a deliberate, multiversal test of your own narrative resilience?
I think you might find you have a lot more true flow force than you realize.
I think so too. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We always appreciate exploring these strange, fascinating corners of reality with you. Stay resilient out there, keep your coherence high, and we will see you next time.